Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Valentine's Day. Colin here. I am so sorry about last time when we had that problem where nobody could hear me when we went over this. So I'm going to show you how I go look for investment properties in the MLS. I'm asking you all to follow along, pay attention, because A, if you want to buy investment properties, this is what you're looking for. B, I need to sell I got a lot of clients looking for properties and I need help searching. So send it to me. It's all you got to do. Find the deal, send it to me. I'll kick you back 1% or whatever, a third of the price. Okay. That easy. Here's how I look for this. So I'm going to show y'all how I do this. All right. Let's get it. Let's do this. Let's get into Sabor. Maybe. Good Lord. What is going on with Sabor? Can you all see my screen? There we go. All right. So what we're going to do is I like to use the classic one. Works better for me. For this time around, I'm going to do single residential. Okay. So we're just looking for a regular old house. When you're looking for a house, guys, I don't know if many of y'all do this, but take off the ones that are in option period. And this stands for active right of first refusal, meaning that they do have a contract on it, that a person has the right of first refusal, so somebody can snake it out from underneath you. I don't want to mess with any of that, but all the rest of these are good for me. I like it. Another trick that I use, guys, is I have Propelio. Do not buy this. I think I can put as many people on here as I want for free. If you would like to use this, just send me an email, Colin at White Line Realty. I will send you up. Just be patient with me. It's not going to be in the next 5 minutes. Okay. So right now I don't like to buy in Houston, so I don't need any Houston stuff. And then my boundaries. Let's take a look at where I like to buy. Now, I'm going to keep this simple. I like buying in Seguin. I like buying in New Braunfels. I like buying in all those areas. But for right now, we're going to talk about San Antonio just to keep it easy. I tend to avoid a handful of places personally. Doesn't mean you have to, but I don't really like them. The first one I don't like is this inner west side that's right here, kind of where the sheriff's station is and the jail and all the bail bonds places and all that stuff. I've tried and tried and tried, and every time I get there, it just looks a little rough. However, over here at Woodlawn Lake, so it's about right about here where I don't like to buy. All the rest of this west side, I don't have a problem with. I also really do like the south side, but this is I'm gonna cut that out for right now, and I'm gonna show you because I'm also looking for a lot of people that invest from California, so I don't want to scare them too much. So I tend to come right here, just outside 1604, all the way around to about 10. And then I'm going to come back in here. And then I'm going to go up because I doubt I'm going to find anything. So about like this, I might actually pull this down. So first of all, guys, I mean, we can include Tobin Hill, but we're not going to find anything there, right? Downtown, we're not going to find anything. Over here, the Dignity and what's that other Denver Heights, Dignity, Denver Heights. That was gentrifying like crazy whenever they brought in the Pearl. It's kind of slowed down some. Plus, I really don't want to mess with any turn of the century houses. I just don't want that 1900s where I got to replace all the electrical and all the plumbing and all that stuff. It's just they're heavy projects. Not a bad idea, but you really need to know what you're doing as a flipper because those can get out of hands quick. And like I said, I'm going to leave the south side off for now and whatnot. All right, so I like this little area. Skid out the west side, skid out that. Downtown's not going to be anything. Can't afford it. Okay, so type of home. I do not like modular or manufactured homes personally. There are a lot of people that make a lot of money with these. I don't like them because manufactured homes tend to be made with very cheap materials that don't last a very long time. The countertops are like vinyl, that if you get one cut in it, it's just going to ruin it. The floors tend to be vinyl. The walls are vinyl. Everything's vinyl in those things. And you can keep them up, but I personally don't like doing it. But single family, that's fine. I don't mind single family, garden, patio homes, townhomes. Those are all fine for me too. And then we've got everything else in here. So for me, I'm looking for a flip. When I flip houses, I want to make sure that it sells as quickly as possible. I'm sure there's a lot of data out there, but this is just my experience. 3-bedroom, 2 baths tend to sell the quickest or better. If I have a 3-1, parents that have 2 kids, they don't want to share the bathroom with their kids. And that tends to slow down the sales. So I'm looking for at least a 3-2 personally. I'm not saying that you can't do a 3-1 or a 2-1 or anything like that. I just really want to open myself up to the largest market I can possibly open up to. That tends to be families, 3-2 or better, okay? Parking, I don't really mess with. Months back has to do what is sold. Now, here comes the tricky part. If I do this just right now and you're like, Collin, let's look for an investment property. There are over 500 listings here. That will take forever. And the vast majority of these are not going to be in my wheelhouse. They're going to be perfectly fine houses that have already been rehabbed or gently lived in that people are just trying to generally sell. They don't make good investments. You can't make any money. So what I'm going to do for this go round is I'm going to say that I want to look at all the houses that are being sold as is. Okay. Now there's a lot of things that we can do. Latent defect. That means something is clearly wrong with the house. That's a good one. We can, well, let's put that in there too for right now. Lender owned. That means it's a bank owned property. Maybe we can talk to them about that stuff, right? Corporate owned. That's definitely a flip, right? I mean, as we go through these, and I'll do a state probate. A lot of these guys on the miscellaneous are helpful, but you have to be careful because it will cut out a lot of things that might work. But let's start with that. Latent defects, lender owned, estate, and as is. It's still going to be way too many, but I'm guessing 182. Okay. I don't want to go through 182 properties right now. So I'm going to pull off the probates. Actually, I'm just going to do the as is. So whenever somebody says as is, just like you said, they are not making any repairs. There's probably something wrong with it. 174. That didn't help much. But let's take a look at these as we go through them. This is literally what I do, guys. It sucks. It's a little bit slow, but the more you do it, the faster you go. I can analyze a property in about 2-3 minutes to find out if I want it or to do any additional research. So what we're going to do is very cursory. 2 lots, 1 house downtown. They both look like crap. I can see that they need new roofs. I like that. There you go. Need paint. All right. So this house is pretty dang rough, right? 2 houses, pretty rough. That's a lot of repair, but it's only 100 grand. Huh. Let's take a look at that. 319 Princeton Avenue. What I like to do is come over to Propelio and see what they've got. This is the way I pull my comps very quickly. By the way, if you're using Propelio, you have to click the address. You can't just type it in. You got to find one to click. All right. So now this is telling me right off the bat, this is like a Zestimate. It's worth 175. I like Propelio because it tells me this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. But including the back house, maybe a little bit more. I'll go ahead and look at it. Tells me who owns it. Is it in mortgage? Is it in pre-foreclosure? All that good stuff. But this is the helpful part. I know how big the lot is. I know everything about the house. If you click over here on comps, this is why I like Propelio, because I don't have to run my comps in here. Because then I have to back out and start over every time. So there's usually a map here. I had to change a setting to get the TV to work, and now it doesn't do it. But there's usually a map that shows you, and that's why there's a legend here. But you can also look at it down here. And as we look, things are selling. All right. So the ones that are selling for $40 a square foot are probably trashed, right? Oh, that's our subject property. If we find the one that's 229, that one's in 5 points. All right. Pretty cute. I can see what people are doing with this. This is clearly a flipped house, right? They've taken good care of it. They've come through. They've added in new, or they've redone the floors at least. They got a nice vent hood, new cabinets, new flooring. This is about what a flip will look like. And this is a 4-3 selling for 287, 1,200 square feet. The bad news is I'm not going to get 1,200 square feet out of this property. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just jumping that one. Let's skip it. Let's look at another one. San Felipe. I don't like that street. Sorry, I'll keep going. I'm going to find a good one here in a second. Village Row. Where is that one? Ah, over here on the east side. Let's take a look-see. They're asking $159,000 for 5202 Village Row. Let's run this thing over to Propelio and let's see what it looks like. Oh, also, guys, whenever I'm looking at one of these, I want to see what the pictures look like, because if it's trashed in some way, there you go. Paneling, that needs to be updated. Lots more paneling. I'm assuming popcorn ceiling if there's paneling. Oh, look at that. That was really killer in 1976, but might be time for a new stove, new countertops, new cabinet doors minimum. HVAC doesn't look too bad. The staining worries me. Oh man, this thing's trashed. Okay, Formica countertops, mostly it's clean. It just looks really, really cluttered and a general facelift. So if you remember, one of the things I told you is a general facelift is about $20 a square foot. That includes flooring, paint, popcorn ceilings, new fixtures, ceiling fans, things like that. Roughly, it comes out to about 20 bucks a square foot. That's kind of the number I use, and rehab's always what kills everybody. This is saying it's worth 204. All right, are we sure? 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. Let's see if we got anything else like that. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet. Let's see what that looked like. Cool. I mean, that's a clean house. Not really updated, but clean. So I think I could do a little bit better. See if we can find some good comps. 3, 2. What's this one on Village Path? All right, this is a flip all day. You know how I so that granite, I mean, people don't put in that color granite anymore unless it's a flip because that granite's cheap. Yeah, this looks like a real easy flip or a weekend warrior doing this thing, and it looks really good. But 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,269. I think that's a good comp. I'm going to do that. What this program does is it takes the average square foot price and multiplies it by the number of square feet in this one. So this thing's saying it's worth 222. Let's find another one just so we can have a few comps. So it looks like we're going to get Builder's Grade is about as good as we're going to get. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. I like that comp. We're going to throw that in there. Let's get one more just for giggles. Super nice house, dated. I don't know if I'd use that as a true comp. That house. Oh, here we go. That is a horrible realtor. I don't even don't be like that realtor, please. Please, please, please. That was Village Green. Okay, we're just going to stick with those two for the sake of time. So it's telling me the house is worth about $200,000. When I come back over here, it's saying it's worth about $200,000. Okay, makes sense. If you remember, I don't buy anything for more than 75% of what it's worth. So if it's worth $205,000, you multiply that by 0.75, which is 75%, which means the most I can spend on it is 153. Let's go back to our property. Where'd it go? Not that, this. They're asking 160. So that number of 153 is where I want to be after my rehab budget. So I want to be at 153. The property is 1,460 square feet. I'm saying it's about $20 a square foot, about a $30,000 rehab. That means I want to be 30,000 below 153. So I want to be at 123 is what my purchase price on that is. We're kind of close. It's not too far off. Now I'm going to look. It's been on the market 37 total days. Might be able to get there. I'm going to print this one out, and I might just go look at that. So, guys, if you get to something like that, I'm going to want to go see it before we get any closer because 30,000 more than that might be a hard sell, but I'm going to go look at it. So that one was close. Let's find another good one. That one looks too far done. Let's see Castle Hunt. 1-car garage, not very desirable. See how that's not quite set? Oh, it's a straight pass through. That's fun. Oh, this is a perfect lipstick flip. Guys, this house looks super clean, super easy done. Yeah, there's some stuff going on here. Ooh, I like this one a lot. Okay. I don't like this little roof thingy, but what are you gonna do? All right, so let's take a look at that one. I like this one. All right, yeah. Where are we at? 6027 Castle Hunt. So they're asking 160. How much is it worth? Oh, may not work out, guys. Ooh, 3-1 with 816 square feet. What did this say it was? A 3-2, 816 square feet. Weird discrepancy. But this doesn't look like it's going to work, guys, because we're too close. No, this is not a good comp. 2 stories not going to work. Oh, you can tell I already did this. Castle Road for 2. Yeah, I like that one. 172, 165. Puts the value of the house at 140. It's just is not going to get there because while as cute as that thing is, this flip. So the nice thing is, guys, it doesn't look like I'm going to need much paint. It's flooring. So if I don't have to paint, I'm going to take off about $3 a square foot for the paint. It does need new flooring. It needs HVAC. Sorry, I'm just looking. New flooring all around, new ceiling fans. That I might leave. Okay. Oh, no. We got our laundry hookups in the bathroom, and that's going to be for a stackable only, which could work. Need to change that ceiling fan. It's cute, but not really. All right. So let's say it's 816 square feet. I'm going to knock it down. Let's say $15 a square foot. Because it doesn't look like I have to do all that much. Plus, I need to add HVAC. For a house that size, it'll be about $5,000. So 17,000. So if I think it's worth 140, and I'm only going to buy it at 75%, how much was the rehab? 17? Minus 17,000. 88,000 is my maximum allowable offer without seeing it. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. They're asking 160. No chance, right? We're never going to get that deal. Unless it's been on the market for 700 days, which I don't think it has been. 165. That's why it's been sitting there. This might be one I could shoot off and say, hey, if I get closer to 100,000, we might be able to do this and just see what they say. It doesn't hurt. Watch this. Let's do it. Guys, this is exactly what I do. Thank you for your consideration. So that's it. If you want to, you can chat GPT that, come up with something better. He's probably just going to tell me no, but it's worth the talk. Doesn't bother me none. All right, moving on. No. Ooh, where's this? All right. Converse inside 1604. Oh, I did look at this one the other day. I liked this one a lot, actually, but there's no interior pictures. So no interior pictures means what?
Maybe.
It's probably trash. It is probably trash. And I'm going to go with, yeah, because look, this garbage can's beat to hell. I ran into that one with my car. This one, I couldn't even lift the lid up because I'm too late. Or they have tenants, right? That won't let them in there. So let's find out. How do we find that out? Start reading. Walking distance, all that stuff. Possession, negotiable, which is nice. It is owner occupied. So it's not a tenant. Seller requires 6-month lease back. Water's been off for at least 2 years and will not be turned on for inspection. Fun. Seller requires a 6-month lease back. Guys, and it has no water. So that's really interesting. I'm going to want to know why, but let's just see if the numbers make any sense. And the buyer's commission is $1. So you're not making any money on this. We're just going to buy it, right? This one might be just one for me to buy. $180,000 feeds into veterans. So we know nothing about it. Let's take a look. See if we want to make an offer on it. And honestly, guys, this is how I would do this one. I'm going to come look at it. What are they asking? 160?
Yeah.
180. It's worth 180. No chance in hell. I'm not even going to offer on it. see, this is 1,300 square feet. This one was 1,900 square foot, still for 250. Pretty dang good comp, right? Probably use a little update on the bathroom, but I can work with that. 250 for 1,900 square feet, which knocks this one down to 174. They're asking for what it's worth, and we can't see the inside of it. And they want a 6-month lease back. That's insanity. Absolute insanity. So no, much as I like that one, not gonna even chase it. Waste of time. Does anybody have anything they want me to analyze? We got more friends. So, all right, let's take a look at this one. Hidden Dale Street. Oh, wrong one.
I had one for a possible rental.
You have one? We'll take a look at it. Just, yeah, get it drawn up. So 237 is what it's saying it's worth. They're asking how much? 200. That is a cute garage door. All right. Popcorn. So sorry, I need to talk while I'm doing this. I'm used to just looking at them. I'm clearly going to have to paint the door. Minimal yard work, right? That's nice. Cluttered, nothing bad. Popcorn ceilings need to be scraped and redone. By the way, guys, about $2 a square foot for popcorn ceilings repair. Roughly. Probably a new surround. Got to paint that room. New countertops. Probably keep the cabinetry. These I'm probably going to reskin the doors. So, guy, what's running through my head is I kind of start at $20 a square foot, assuming I got to replace everything. And that $20 a square foot does not include big ticket items like roof, air conditioning, whatever it might be, major plumbing repairs. That is literally the lipstick. The lipstick costs $20 a square foot. And then what I'm doing is I'm kind of rotating that up and down a little bit just to find out what's going on, right? So the popcorn ceilings are included in the $20 a square foot. We're cleaning. I don't look like I need floors here. I could probably leave those. Might change them. I don't like these 12-inch tiles. Those are really outdated. This bathtub looks pretty decent. You know what I mean? That's pretty new. And the reason why I think this is new is because they have this handicapped toilet here, right? And a lot of times if somebody's hurt, they'll get the insurance to redo their shower for them so they can step into it easier. And you end up with these really nice showers in these really clunky houses. Again, reskinning these doors. By the way, when I say reskin these doors, you can you don't have to buy new cabinets. You can just buy new doors. And it saves you a lot of money. Cabinetdoors.com or something like that. Yeah, just go online. You got to measure them all and then send it to them. They send you new ones. I think you can get them from Home Depot too, but it's a lot more fun. You get to pick something cool. So it's something like just Google cabinet doors. It's some major website. Okay. I'm gonna stick with $20 a square foot though. Let's just stay there for simplicity's sake. Built in 1981. That's another thing to check, guys. If it's built way long ago, you're probably gonna have electrical issues. Anything before like 1960, I don't think they grounded everything before 1960. So, all right. So $20 a square foot on 1,173 square feet. Anybody? We'll say a $25,000 rehab. All right. That's what it's going to take me to rehab this thing. They're asking 197. It's been on the market for almost a month. I think it's worth closer to 237, maybe more. 3 2s with a 2-car garage. There it is. That's our exact same house, right? Just about. And no interior pictures. So that's not helpful. That's almost the exact same house again. I like it. That's a flip. It's a flip all day. They didn't do the popcorn ceilings either. Maybe I'll leave mine. Depends on how they look. Boom. Me gusta. Let's use that one. You can keep doing this to figure it out, but let's just go there. So 250 is our number. Wait, one other thing, guys. If you see 250 is your number, has anything sold at 250? Here's one at 248. And that was a 4-bedroom. I ain't getting, this one was 275, but that was a 4-bedroom as well. So more than likely, I'm not gonna get in 1,700 square feet. I'm not gonna get 250 for this one. So we'll say 230. I'm gonna go back to that number. You don't buy more than 75%? Well, I don't. You can. And then what did I say, 30 in rehab? So 140, or yeah, I said 25, didn't I? So let's add in that $5,000 back. So 150 is going to be my offer. They're asking for 197. Guys, once again, we can do the same thing. We can pop them an email and say, hey, 150 cash, 2-week close. Would that be something they'd be interested in? But it's only been 23 days, so I don't know how much they're going to want it, but I'll probably pop off that email. It's not too hard to do. I'll save you the time. But guys, this is it. I just do this over and over and over and over again. And when I run out of houses here, I just go back to this. I unclick as is and find a new one. So I'm going to click latent defect. Only 3 of them. And I'm definitely not buying one for $850,000. Maybe.
When you do the 20 per square foot, are you also able to like major items?
No.
That's
the lip. $20 a square foot is just the lipstick. Anything you can pretty much touch. That's kind of the point I'm getting at with that, right? I can touch the floors. I can touch the electrical outlets. I can touch the light switches. I can touch the light fixtures. Anything you can touch. Anything you can't touch, the roof, the air conditioner, plumbing, electrical, that's all additional, right? Appliances are another one you got to be careful about, guys. Check your appliances. Those add up quick. They do add up quick. But that usually appliances fit in that $20 a square foot. But just be careful.
How much does it cost to fix the roof?
It depends on the roof. How much does it cost to fix a roof? My guy charges me, I want to say $125 or $130, I want to say, a square. And they measure by squares, and I think a square is 10 foot by 10 foot.
Okay.
And so however many square feet that roof is, a house that size, probably about $6,000-7,000. And by the way, if you're like, Collin, there's no way. I called 1-800-roofer and they said my new roof is going to cost $35,000. It's because you're calling white people. If I'm being honest, okay, find the people that actually do the roof install and talk to those guys. Okay. That's the whole trick with real estate investing. If you want to keep your costs down, don't talk to the person that answers the phone. Talk to the person doing the work. Okay. Talk to them. Do you freelance? Do you work after this? Put stuff out on Craigslist. You can find so many contractors by just asking. Okay. And I own a lot of rental properties. That's another great way to find contractors, because they'll be like, hey, do you mind if we tile the shower? Like, no, I guess not, because they tend to be, a specialist in something, right? If he's the tile guy, I've had tile guys rent my places before, and the tile work is beautiful. I love it. I had a mason one time, and he redid my entire fireplace in that house. I was like, cool, right? And he does it with stuff that he found off work, and they want a nice place to live. They do a good job. They know how to do it. Let them. But just talking, you can find these guys. Also, when we're looking, before I get onto Bianca's, because I do want to do that, you can add or remove fields. So one of the other ones that I really like to do is what's called proposed terms. So remember, if you buy or if you're putting something in the MLS, these are all the things that you've got to enter into the MLS. So all we're doing is searching by that. So I'm just going to say, take proposed terms and put it in my currently selected fields. And then it adds it down here. And my favorite one is when they want cash only, but this investor okay button. I like that one, because that one also tells me they know something's up. Ooh, wait, what did I do? What's wrong with that? Oh, because it's latent defect and investors okay. So that's why I did it. So if I just do investors okay only, I got something else checked. Hold on. Yeah, I don't want that one. Oh, I didn't hit okay. My bad. So here's 386 listings that everybody goes, no, we want an investor for this one. We know it's crap. All you got to do is go through them, guys. And then what I said last time is I've actually created a spreadsheet that I can send to you if you want me to. Just tell me. Not that one. That's tenant rights. That one. So you can just input all your stuff. That's why I know where it came from. Sends over to me and we go. All right, Bianca, which one did you want to look at?
It is 327 Fenfield.
Spell it.
F-E-N-F.
Got it. 135,000?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look. Down on the south side, for those of y'all didn't know, you can click that little map, the address, and it'll tell you exactly where it is. All right. I like it.
But that one.
No, I own a sixplex right here.
Okay.
All right, let's talk. They're asking $135,000, been on the market 90 days. You do get commission on it. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Not my favorite. Does have a half bath though, so you can use the bathroom if somebody's taking a shower. It's a lot of work. A lot of cleanup. Like this little fence right here's got to go. Cut all this down. Sorry, I'm going to ruin your garden. All this stuff, guys, has got to go. Or rebuilt, like this ramp. Dude, there are so many specifications that are FHA and all this stuff. Like you're probably going to end up having to rebuild that. This is asbestos tile. It's not a problem. It's really good. It's a great fight, but when you move it, if I decide to pull it off, that's when it becomes a hazmat issue. Just sitting on the house, it's fine. There's also 2 window units right here, which tells me there's no central air conditioning and or it doesn't work worth a flip. This is a tile drop ceiling kind of thing. That makes me real nervous. I want to know what's going on, why they don't have a solid ceiling. Cabinets look good. Backsplash is a little weird, but I like it. There's one of your air conditioners. Don't like that the stove is in this corner. I'd probably get rid of all of that and then just make like a refrigerator cabinet here. See, I've got one there though. I don't know what I'd do. What is with this weird little half door? This wainscoting, this is called wainscoting, guys. Or shiplap. I mean, it's not shiplap, but it's beadboard or wainscoting. I kind of like it. Might work. Seems high. Usually you want that at like chair level, but is that acoustic tile? What is that? This, okay, so the fact that they have these little rungs right here, that this is probably a trim board so that you don't see the seams. And this is either vinyl or maybe acoustic tile or just sheets of plywood. I don't know, but it's probably going to have to go. And there's brick here. I doubt it's real brick. It's probably just that little wood facade. All this paneling is going to have to go. You're going to have to put in proper shelves here. This is your washer dryer connections. I'm pretty sure you can tell that's not to code. It's not too bad, actually, all things considered. I probably wouldn't change too much of it, depending on what's going on in this room. I'd want to see this room as a whole. There's a very old air conditioner. More paneling. So, guy, the bad news about this one is this is $20 a square foot plus, right? Because I'm going to have to change. You can't do blue bathrooms anymore, right? All that's got to come out, and that's tile. So I got to go through and I got to tile, plus I got to put in new drywall, plus I have to texture, plus I have to paint, plus I have to put down baseboard trim. Plus, you know what I mean? It adds up very quickly. So this isn't a $20 rehab thing. I got to add an HVAC. The problem with this HVAC, I might have enough room up here. And see, the next problem is then I'm going to go through and get rid of all these holes. And then I got to go by and find the asbestos shingles. Then we got to go like, it's a lot going on here. There's a lot. And what is this? What is this house?
It's a second house.
It's a second house for 135 that has a hole in the roof, as you can see. The hardwood floors I like. Those look like they can be saved.
That one has only half bath, but it has.
This is the one with the half bath?
Yeah.
So this is a casita with a half bath, so you can't shower in here.
But it has a space to be there.
Where? Here?
It is behind this wall.
Behind this wall.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of the things whenever I'm talking to clients and like, oh, could I put a bathroom here? Could I do this? Could I do that? And I'm like, you can do anything. Like, just gets real expensive really quick. And it takes a very long time. You change the footprint of a house, you've got to go to the city. You got to make sure it gets approved. Then you got to go get your permits. Then they got to get them inspected. Like it just drags the whole thing out. So, which is fine. I mean, you can take 5 years to rehab a project if you've got it built into the numbers. Like if I'm going to sell a $10 million house that I picked up for $1 million, then yeah, I don't care if it takes me 5 years because the rewards on the back end and I just work it into your numbers. But 135,000, something tells me this is nowhere near $135,000 worth of value. I think this is way overpriced. You are not going to like my rehab number on that. Let's see. Value 135. 3-bedroom one. It's not including the casita, but honestly, I wouldn't include the casita because it's going to take so much work. See, the reason why I picked this one, guys, is this is a 2-1 800 square feet that sold for almost $200,000. That's big, especially in this area of town. So what does that look like? Once again, they did not change the well, they didn't change these cabinets, but they did change these. That's Formica countertop. So they went cheap on it. They dropped in LED can lights. And you notice there's not a ceiling fan in there, but they do have mini splits. So they didn't run ducts. They just have mini splits everywhere. But I'm pretty sure why I would not even get over $200,000. I'm pretty sure you see why that's a realistic thing, right? So back to our original $200,000, 75% of that's 150. My rehab number on that's probably somewhere around $60,000 or $70,000. It's going to be quite a bit. Meaning if I'm at 150 and I need $70,000 in rehab, that means I need to pick this thing up for $80,000, which is $50,000 below what they're asking. Probably not going to happen. Okay. If for whatever reason, the next thing that you can do, and this is why I really like Propelio, is you just click this button and it tells you all the rentals. As you can see, things over here, high end is renting for 146 a square foot, which is really high for a 1-1. What else we got? You can see one of mine that's on market over here. I think it's this one. Yeah, there's one of mine on market. And I'm asking 675. That's a an efficiency, so there's not a bedroom in there. Here's my other one. I'm trying to get 654 and I'm having a hard time. This is actually a 1-bedroom. I need to make sure you fix that. And it's not 2,500 square feet, but whatever. I'm gonna go with closer to $1 a square foot. So I might be able to get $1,000 worth of rent out of this thing. That tells me even more. So another good rule of thumb, if I have a $135,000 mortgage, my payment's going to be pretty close to $1,350 a month, right? Right now, 1% of the purchase price is fairly close. If I know I can only rent this for $1,000, I'm going to be $300 underwater. So even as is, it's not going to work. Now that front one will be $1,000, the back one, 500, because you can't shower in it, right? Maybe maybe I can charge a little extra. Let's say a $500 bump. I'm at $1,500. Still, that's $150 a month, not considering any rehab. So as a rental, I would not buy that. Like it's just not going to make sense. No matter how much I squeeze it. But anybody else got anything they want? I mean, hold on. I don't even have my Zoom stuff. Not that. I don't even know if anybody's trying to talk to me. Here's my participants. How do I get to I don't know. Anything else anybody wants me to look at? The hard thing, guys, I know the hardest part about this is estimating rehab. Just start with $20 a square foot. Just start there. It's high. I will admit that. Some people will be like, oh, I can do it for 14. Sure you can. But rookies don't know to see around the bend, the corners, the things that you're actually missing, so that $20 kind of gives you that buffer. It's like, oh, I didn't notice that it had a gas heater in the bathroom, that needs to be removed. So that's kind of why I tell everybody $20 a square foot. But the other thing that you can also do is you can come into one of the fun things. Let's see if I can find one. Like David. Offer pros. There's a good one. So guys, you can also get on these wholesalers lists. And this guy, as you can see, sent me one on 2-1, 131, 119, 117. This guy sends me one about 2 or 3 deals a week that I can look at. I can tell you right now, I'm not touching that one. Just looking at, see how you can see the wood here? I mean, this roof's kind of sway. Oh my God. Like all of this is a structural nightmare and I don't want to mess with it. And then the other thing is that's indignity. So no thanks. But no, West Side Duplex, right? That's just one wholesaler, guys. There's 500 of them doing this. There's a million places for you to get this. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, I really need to make some money. How do I get to make some money? I don't want to, like, if you just sit down and burn through these, like you're going to find a deal. Like I've already found 2 quasi ones that I'm going to pop off some emails, see what I can do with it. And maybe I get one, maybe I don't, but guys, you're not going to find, it's not 1 out of every 10. It's 1 out of every 1,000. I mean, it's a lot that you have to burn through to find a good investment deal. And people get impatient and they give up on it, or and they just buy a house and then they lose a bunch of money because they got impatient. They didn't wait for the right deal. And then all of a sudden they're out of money and this sucks and real estate's stupid and I'll never buy another house. Don't be that guy. So take your time, burn through these things. There's a million houses for sale every day. And by the way, guys, that was just the northern part of San Antonio. You can do the southern part of San Antonio. You can do Lavernia is a real hot spot right now. Seguin's really hot right now. New Braunfels is always hot. You get up near Canyon Lake, that north side of Canyon Lake's becoming very hot. There's a lot going on that you can find. Just do little sections at a time, sit down, spend 30, 45, maybe an hour a day doing it. I promise you'll find something by the end of the week. Send it to me. I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. Don't get mad if I tell you you're wrong. You're just going to learn where your blind spots were so we can get better at it. Guys, my degree's in music. Okay. I was a band director for 5 years. During that time period, I studied and got my financial licenses. I became an independent financial advisor. I had my Series 6, 63, 26, things that people go to college for 4 years to study and pass this test. I passed it just because I sat down and learned it. Guys, I know you don't know how to look at investment properties. The only way to do it is to look at 1,000 of them, get used to it. Go walk the properties with general contractors. Myself, there's 100 people here in White Line Real. I think we're at 100 now, or 96 or something. There are a ton of investors, a ton of people here willing to help you, but we're not going to sit down and watch you analyze 10,000 properties because we got stuff to do. Get down to where you've got 1 or 2 that are good, then come talk to one of the guys that are doing this and say, hey, help me figure out if I'm looking at this right. You got to do some work. Where nobody's going to hold your hand. Please just go on there, find something. You're going to find it. I promise you'll find something and then you're going to make money. You're gonna be like, wow, this is great. And let me know if you got any questions. Anybody got any questions here?
Yeah. Wait, do you have problems trying to finance a property with piers and beams?
Good question. Do I have problems financing properties with pier and beam? No. It doesn't really mess with it. I will say I have a harder time finding pier and beam repair people. They don't like to repair those. Pier and beam houses, they're charming. They tend to have the wood floors. Everybody likes that. Everybody likes that old 1920s style. But if you get a pier and beam house that's old, you do need to check it very thoroughly before you buy it. Some of the older houses, they used to use cedar piers. The reason why they use cedar is, if you don't know, cedar doesn't rot. It doesn't rot. So they put it in the ground and that's what's been holding the house up forever. However, cedar does compress. So you can squish it down and that's what ends up happening. So you end up with these little gaps and that's why the floor gets wavy because there's gaps on the compressed wood. What they tend to do with that is you can shim it, meaning you can put in little pieces of wood to kind of make that work. That is completely legal, but there's a limit to how much you can shim. You can't shim all of them, right? It just doesn't work that way, but a handful of them you can. They tend to want to go in there and put in concrete piers, which is what they want to do. But like I said, you got to get underneath because those piers they nail the beams to those piers, right? So you also want to look at the beams that are running back and forth. Back in the day, they didn't do a very good job of venting underneath these things. So they tend to be very wet and there's lots of bugs and things living under there. And if there's a leak, right, and it gets very moist, moisture and wood do not agree with each other. So you do want to check pier and beams. I'm not a big fan of them. I'm not scared of them though. Don't be scared of foundation, not in this area, not in South Texas. Don't be scared. All foundation problems can be fixed. You just got to work it into the budget. You know, that's all you got to do. You just got to make sure you understand. I love foundation problems because nobody wants to touch them. Everybody's like, I ain't touching a foundation problem. I'm like, I will, but I'm offering you 20,000 less because I got to fix that. And they go, okay. And now I got 20,000 to fix it. I've never spent $20,000 to fix a foundation. It doesn't cost that much. A lot of people think it costs $1 million. That's because you're calling 1-800-Foundation. Quit doing that. Don't call Ramjack and try and get an investor special. That's not going to happen. Ramjack's a good company. Not bad dogging them. I'm just saying they're a little pricey.
Have you tried fixing foundations with foam?
I have not. She asked if I tried to fix foundation with foam. I want to so bad.
It is really good.
Is it? But I'm scared to fix a true foundation. I like driveways, sidewalks, things like that. I do. I don't know if I'd do a real one, but
What's the cost?
It was not too bad. We fixed very big garage in Alaska. And it costed like $6,000.
was it a full foundation?
Yeah, it was perfect.
Bianca said full foundation in Alaska for $6,000, and the foam, for those of y'all that don't know, they drill a hole. Your foundation, everybody thinks your foundation, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but whatever. Everybody thinks your foundation is like 4 feet deep. It's not. Parts of it are, not all of it. They trench it out and then they run the piping and stuff through all that. But most of your foundation, I think, is 8 inches.
Yeah.
It's not, I think that's a requirement, is 8 inches, you know, and then there's these big feet that kind of run through it to keep it from sliding, post tension cables. There's all this stuff that goes into it. But what they do is if your foundation's messed up, and with the foam is they drill a hole through it to get to the bottom, and then they squirt an expanding foam in there, and it just lifts your house up and then hardens like a rock. Pretty cool stuff. I don't know. I always use structural steel because I don't want it to repeat. Structural steel guys, they go all the way down to bedrock, all the way down to limestone, and that's what it sits on. But and it costs the same as a concrete pier. It's pretty cheap. So any other questions? Anybody got anything you want me to look at while we're talking about this? Because we're right at an hour. We're good. Find me a property. Let's go. Let's make some money. I want to go on this cruise. I want to abuse the tax law and go on the cruise because it's a business trip and I want to take the people that have earned it. Come on, let's earn it. 10 million. What is that? Like $300,000 houses. Let's say 200. We got to sell 5 $200,000 properties. 10 times. That's 50 properties. I have 276 investors looking right now. So I can easily get 4 of y'all on this trip. You just got to bring me the properties. All right, guys, y'all have a great Valentine's Day. Tell your significant other you love them. Try to be nice to them. And don't go out to eat, cook for your significant other.